Every spring, we spend hundreds of dollars on fertilizer, convinced our plants can't survive without it. But for 450 million years, long before synthetic chemicals existed, plants thrived by partnering with an invisible fungal network that could boost their growth by over 60%. For just $2, you could restore a system that Big Fertilizer quietly sidelined, nature's original internet. But here's the question: why did we abandon it? And what happens if we bring it back? Today, I'm going to reveal a secret the fertilizer industry doesn't want you to know. In 1997, a Canadian scientist named Dr. Susan Simard published a paper that would shake the foundations of plant science. Her experiment was bold. She injected radioactive carbon dioxide into the leaves of a birch tree, then tracked where that carbon went. Days later, she detected the same radioactive signature inside a Douglas fir seedling meters away. There was no direct root contact, no shared air. Only one possible pathway: an invisible web of fungal threads connecting the roots underground. Carbon, the very currency of life for plants, was moving from one tree to another through an underground network. And this wasn't a one-way street. Birch and fir were exchanging carbon back and forth depending on the season and their needs. An underground barter system. Larger, older trees, what Simard called mother trees, were sending resources to shaded seedlings and drought-stressed neighbors. This wasn't competition. This was cooperation written into the soil itself. In numbers, up to 6% of a tree's carbon could pass through these fungal highways, enough to save a struggling sapling. This partnership has a name: Mycorrhizae. It's Greek for fungus root. Plants and fungi have struck a deal that's lasted nearly 500 million years. The plant makes sugar from sunlight. That's the fungus's only food source. In return, the fungus sends out thread-like filaments so fine they can slip through cracks and pores in the soil that plant roots can't even touch. These threads, called hyphae, reach 10, 100, sometimes 1,000 times farther than the plant's own roots. Imagine this: a single seedling with mycorrhizal spores can tap into nutrients and water meters beyond its roots. It's like a carrot or corn stalk suddenly able to draw from a pantry stretching in every direction. The exchange is simple: sugar for survival. Plants pump out carbohydrates. The fungus delivers phosphorus, nitrogen, and water essentials for growth. This isn't charity. It's a finely tuned economy where each partner keeps score. When the plant has plenty of phosphorus, it cuts back sugar payments. When nutrients run low, the plant increases its offer and the fungus responds by expanding its network. This isn't just theory. Peer-reviewed studies have proven it. In 2022, a meta-analysis gathered data from nearly 200 independent trials. The average: a 64% increase in plant biomass when mycorrhizal inoculants were used. In 2023, a study in Nature Microbiology showed field trials on maize and wheat. The result: a 40% jump in yield, especially in soils depleted by years of conventional farming. The largest gains appeared where soils were most worn down, where natural fungal networks had been broken by plowing and synthetic fertilizer. The same story repeated in cotton. A trial published in Nature's Scientific Reports showed a 54% increase in harvest weight with less need for chemical fertilizer. These aren't outliers. This is documented, replicable data. Yes, there are extreme cases showing 4 to 8 times growth, but those involved special conditions. The consistent science points to the 28–64% range. These numbers aren't marketing copy. They're stamped with the names of journals and backed by statistical review. So if the evidence is this solid, why was this system ever lost? High phosphorus fertilizer promised a shortcut to bigger harvests, but it came with an invisible cost. When synthetic phosphorus floods the soil, the plant's ancient deal with its fungal partner begins to unravel. Plants, sensing abundant nutrients, hold back on their side of the bargain. Instead of sending sugar down to feed the fungus, the plant routes energy into its own immediate growth. The fungus, cut off from its only food supply, starts to shrink back. Researchers at NC State University call this the fast food effect. Isotope studies show that in phosphorus-rich soils, plants reduce their sugar exports to fungal hyphae by up to 70%. The fungal network, once stretching meters beyond the root zone, collapses into a fraction of its former size. The consequences don't stop there. Without the fungal miners, plants lose access to hidden reserves of phosphorus, nitrogen, and water that only the hyphae could reach. Yields may hold steady for a season or two, but soon the soil's natural supply can't keep up. The solution, according to the industry, add more fertilizer, but every dose of synthetic phosphorus makes the soil less hospitable to fungi. The cycle tightens. Growers find themselves locked into a treadmill, each year requiring more input for the same or even diminishing returns. A $2 packet of mycorrhizal inoculant can treat an entire backyard garden for the season if you use it the right way. The math is simple, 1 gram per plant, about 7 cents each. But there's a catch. Mycorrhizal fungi only colonize roots when soil phosphorus stays below 70 parts per million. If you've been dumping 10-10-10 fertilizer, those spores won't stand a chance. Application is all about timing and placement. The powder must touch living roots or seeds, never just scattered on the soil surface. Sunlight kills the spores in minutes. Best results come from dusting the roots of transplants or coating seeds before planting. Once in contact, colonization begins within 5 to 16 days. But the real network takes shape over months. That's when the underground trade routes open up. Not every crop will benefit. Brassicas, broccoli, cabbage, kale don't form mycorrhizal partnerships, neither do beets. But for everything else, a single dusting can last for years as long as you keep phosphorus in check. Here's the most important thing, this is not banned. Mycorrhizal inoculants are widely available, OMRI listed for organic use, and pose zero toxicity risk to humans or animals. There's no blanket ban. The most affordable route, trap culture, a method championed by the Rodale Institute. Start with a pot of bahia grass. Add a scoop of wild soil from a healthy, undisturbed patch like a forest edge. Over several months, the grass roots become colonized by native mycorrhizal fungi. When the grass is mature, its root zone is teeming with spores and hyphae. This living inoculum can be mixed into planting holes at essentially no cost. Commercial products are also available, Myco-Apply, Great White, typically under $7 for 100 grams. A single packet treats dozens of plants. The real barrier isn't the law. The real barrier is knowing that this tool exists and that anyone can use it. Today, global fertilizer demand keeps rising, even as peer-reviewed science shows plants can thrive with far less. Restoring the underground fungal network isn't nostalgia. It's a proven solution that boosts yields by over 40% while cutting chemical use. As soil health declines worldwide, the real revolution may be invisible. Sometimes progress starts by reviving what the industry forgot. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.